Everybody, I just want to talk about my postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome. You may have heard of it, you may not have, and yeah, I am talking from my bed today. It's a condition when you stand up. But basically, your autonomic nervous system's faulty, it doesn't work properly. Can be a vagus nerve as well. It is for me as well. It's both. When you stand up, your body don't adjust properly, exactly heart rate, blood pressure, or other things your autonomic nervous system controls. Usually by sitting down, laying down, can help reduce the symptoms, but it doesn't always, and it might not at all. So for me, by lying down, sitting down, don't help the symptoms whatsoever. Some people it does. Anyway, the purpose of this video today is just going to explain the symptoms that I have with my postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome. I think I did a video on my Ehlers-Danlos syndrome and the symptoms I get with that. I don't think I did one on the postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome. I have had to write down quite a few in the book of my symptoms because there's quite a lot and I forget quite easily with my autism. So I have written it down in the book here, all my symptoms. I might in the future as well do, explain all the medications I'm on as well because I take like over 20 a day, all for my POTS. So it'd be, if I get quite a good lot of people interested in this, I'll go ahead and do a video about all the medications I take. Like I said, there is a lot. Anyway, so everybody's different with POTS. We all have different symptoms. One of us is never the same. But some of the main symptoms we do have, which are the same, like tachycardia and stuff. But anyway, let's get to it with my symptoms. Hopefully they help. Maybe you have the same. But this is all about spreading awareness as well. So, with my postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome, I have tachycardia. So, like I said, it's one that a lot of people do. I have dizziness. I have passing out. So, before I got diagnosed when I was 18, I had tachycardia and I was just passing out left, right, and centre until I was took into hospital and took 2 weeks and I got diagnosed, which is really good because a lot of people it takes forever. Orthostatic tremors, so this doesn't happen very often, but standing up can cause my legs to tremor like that, which also makes my heart rate go faster because the body's working harder because it's going like that. Fatigue, I suffer with fatigue. A lot of people with postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome or any chronic illness does suffer from fatigue. I suffer sometimes from headaches from the POTS. I do suffer quite a bit of weakness from the POTS as well. I suffer with like panda eyes. So my mum will know when I'm unwell or if I need IV fluid or if I'm going to have a seizure because I get like black eyes and both eyes like they've been punched. She call them panda eyes. So I get them as well, and that's usually indicating that I'm unwell or I need some IV fluid or I've got an infection on the way. I have low blood volume. A lot of us do with POTS, but for me, my low blood volume can get so low it causes me to have my reflex anoxic seizures and organic seizures, which I'll do a separate video on another time as well. But so basically, I have Hickman lining, and this is purely just for fluid. So my consultant purely put this in just for IV fluid. I have all the IV fluid at home. I have litre bags, I have given sets, I have sterile dressing packs. I have it all at home. So yeah, a good couple of years ago, we were having to ring ambulances like 3 times a week just to be able to give me fluid because I was going into seizures because I needed it. But now my mum's allowed to give it to me. She's been trained. So we're able to prevent those seizures. I still do have seizures, but we prevent quite a lot of them now by giving me the IV fluid. So I can have up to 3 litres of IV fluid a week via the Hickman line. I could have like 2 litres of 0.9 saline and then 1 Hartmann's. We have that here as well. But obviously, if we get to the 3 litre mark, there's usually could be something deeper on going inside, so I usually have to go to hospital by that time. But yeah, so I can also do a video if you guys want about how I managed to get the Hickman line in the UK and have IV therapy in the UK, especially at home by my mum. One of the main reasons is just because my veins are completely messed up from all the cannulars I've had in the past for IV fluid and IV antibiotics. I do have IV antibiotics through there as well sometimes. I'm resistant to a lot of antibiotics. Have reactions to a lot of antibiotics. Anyway, temperature regulation is another symptom. You know, it could be really hot outside. I'm really cold. It could be really cold outside. I'm really hot. I don't sweat, so it makes you feel really horrid. I also don't show temperatures, so say I've got a raging infection, it will come up as me as probably like hypothermic when actually I got a bad temperature from whatever infection I got. So some other symptoms is I'm sensitive to certain drugs. I know quite a few of us potsies are, and they can make our drugs worse, symptoms worse. So some of the drugs I'm sensitive to are mainly antibiotics. But you know, I can't do like Lemsip or Strepsil or whatever it's called over the counter because that will aggravate my POTS more. So not just prescription drugs aggravate my POTS more, even over the counter drugs can as well. So I've got to be really careful and go through my specialist when I have medications, even if it's over the counter, because I don't want my POTS getting worse and ends up in hospital. I have reflux and oxygen seizures. That's due to the POTS because of the vagus nerve. Like I said, I'll do a separate video on that one. I've lost the page now. I have organic non-epileptic seizures, which are triggered by the POTS as well, and also anything like pain or infection, and just the POTS as well. It can throw off the wrong signal and put me into a seizure. These have been proven not to be psychological. They're organic, so there's always a physical cause, and I have to have rescue medication every time. There's not been a single time I've come out of a seizure on my own, and I've had seizures for 8 years. So Mum has to, when I'm having a seizure, she has to either use a vagal nerve stimulator on the vagus nerve to help slow down the heart rate with the pulse, or give me an injection called glycopronium, which blocks the autonomic nervous system, or give me fluid as well. But usually, if I'm having seizures, Mum would have started a lot of fluid anyway because I'm unwell. And I do have seizures, you know, a good 2 times maybe a week, and again, it's all due to the POTS. But yeah, I'll explain more about that in the video about the reflex and ocular seizures and your non-epileptic seizures and the type of rescue meds I have, because all rescue meds I have work against the nervous system. So instead of having like lorazepam, diazepam, because that don't work for me, I have these other special drugs, and I'll explain that in another video. And I also have adrenaline surges at night sometimes. My bladder and bowel is messed up. It's contributed to the EDS as well, so that's why I've got a suprapubic catheter and constant in my bowels. The POTS doesn't help with that as well. My blood tests don't come back right, so my infection markers always come back fine. So whether I got a raging infection, my white blood count will come back, my CRP will come back, and it's absolutely fine. So they have to wait to do cultures, and I've got to wait like 72 hours, and by that time I'm in hospital. So it'd be interesting if any of you guys have that situation with your infection markers. I'd love to know. And yeah, so that's basically all my symptoms. There's quite a lot. I don't think I missed out a few. I am rushing, so I don't know how much time I've got left. But there may be few. There's always new symptoms popping up with my POTS, and I'm sure you POTSies can understand that as well. But like I said, I'll do a separate video on the medications, like my regular meds and my seizures as well, because they're different type of non-epileptic seizures, and the rescue meds I had, and my Hickman line. I'm very lucky to have that in the community. So yeah, that's my symptoms. I hope it helps you all. Leave any comments below and any questions. Thank you very much.